It's WOL 1450 AM, where information is power, Easy Street, and trending with Easy Crew is here.
Hey,
what's
All
up?
right, Daniel, Sharice, Tony, and Jose, and Dina in the back somewhere back there. Now, today is a very important show because, hey, listen, this movie, Django Unchained, is taking the whole world by storm, and everybody's talking about it. So we saw fit to assemble our team and to do our research. And everyone has seen the film, basically, and we're ready to talk about it. But on the line with us is one of my favorite people in the world. It's Mr. C.R. Gibbs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother. Happy to be here.
Yes. Now, of course, he's appearing in my documentary, Sankofa Jam Project, as well. That's a shameless plug right there. But he's one of my favorite people because he loves history. He is a historian. And we were talking about the film. And let me make sure I want to get this right. You did not see the film yet, right?
No, and may never, but that's another story entirely.
Okay, well, let's talk about exactly. Let's talk about why you don't want to see Django Unchained.
Let me start this way. The concept of Django Unchained has nothing to do with our history. The original Django was a 1966 Italian Western starring Franco Nero that had no black people in it. And Quentin Tarantino himself had said that he was inspired. The one thing that the original Django was known for was its appalling level of violence, even for the 1960s. And given Tarantino's reputation, it's likely that is what initially attracted him to remaking, because that's what this is. This is essentially a remake with a central character that has the same name. So, and it's important that we acknowledge that in 1975, Fred Williamson already covered this ground in a movie called Boss Nigger, where there were not one, but two black bounty hunters. So, and having seen that, and I understand because, a lot of the younger brothers and sisters I've talked to, man, they up on the revenge angle, when Jamie cleans house and all of that.
When
and
he killed all the white people. Say it out, man.
Yeah. I mean, and what I told her is that's how we felt in the 70s when we watched Fred Williamson in The Legend of Nigger Charlie, The Soul of Nigger Charlie, Boss Nigger, and all this other stuff, where we had the same debate over the use of the N-word, and it didn't change a thing then, and it's unlikely to now. We wanted the brothers to come in and mow down everybody then. So, what I'm saying then essentially is that let's not get the history twisted. This is not black history. This is Quentin Tarantino's take on an aspect which he has also said he likens to the movie, what is it, Ignorant Bastards, or whatever that movie is.
Inglorious Bastards.
Inglorious Bastards, where the Jews, in an ahistorical turn, get their chance to beat the Nazis with baseball bats. And in this case, black folk get to exact their revenge upon racist Westerners and slaveholders in this particular film. So, but I got to acknowledge the fact that black folk have touched on this topic already. The great thing about Boss Nigger is that folk can see it for free on the internet. And I encourage folk to look at something that black people did, and then make the comparison with, if they wish, and if it's necessary, with Django.
Dr. Gibbs, this is Sharice, and I wanted to ask you a question about your viewpoint on the movie. I think some people are looking at the movie as entertainment, and others are looking at it from an educational perspective. What do you think there's a problem with?
Heck yeah, he got a problem with that, man.
Do you think there's a problem?
I got a problem with that too.
Well, then my question is, what is the problem with looking at slavery and things that happened in the past from an entertainment standpoint? Because there were some funny parts in the movie.
Then you have to show me the times that our Jewish brothers and sisters made fun of the Holocaust. You have to show me the times when our Irish brothers and sisters decided that the Fenian Revolution over 100 years ago was nothing but a laugh. See, everything that is in a film, every scene in a film is planned. And see, there's no such thing as neutral entertainment. And if folk are out there believing entertainment is just neutral, then they need to get out of the way of filmmakers who are trying to put something meaningful on the screen. And one example would be the new Western made by black people called They Die by Dawn. It's got Erykah Badu in it, Michael K. Williams. I mean, it's got a whole range of black actors. And unfortunately, all the hoo-ha over Django is sucking the air out of the room. And here we have a Western made by conscious black folk. And we're not sure that there will be that kind of interest when the film is actually debuted later this year.
There was a scene in the movie where slave owners got together and they got their biggest slaves and had them, they call it Mandingo fighting. And I read an article where a historian was unaware that actually happened back then. So I wanted to get your take on Mandingo fighting and as it's relevant to this movie.
It wasn't always called Mandingo fighting. In fact, I have a slide of a drawing. They used to pit us together, to pit us one against each other. This is why I can barely watch black men fighting in the heavyweight division, because not only did they pit us against each other, not only in the boxing ring, but also in terms of foot races, in terms of tasks performed, because we never made out. And I'm particularly incensed about the other practice alongside boxing. They would encourage enslaved black men to headbutt one another.
Dr. Gibbs, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you calling in on the show, all right?
Thank you, brother. Anytime.
Have a great day. Before we get to the other things that we wanted to talk about, Daniel, what do you think about Mr. Gibbs just said?
I mean, I can respect his point of view, but I mean, for me, I think that there's definitely still place for multiple perspectives. Like, it's definitely not a movie probably shot from our perspective, and I can feel him on that. We need to see more movies from our perspective, but the issue is twofold. I think it was important seeing a movie. One, what I liked about the movie is that it didn't like try to make it heroic. It didn't try to make the slave owner out to be, I didn't feel any compassion for those characters or whatever. Like, I think it was a really honest, though it was fictional, an honest portrayal. So, I mean, I can respect his opinion, but he didn't see the movie. So I don't know really how I can really comment but so much on something that you haven't taken the time to really see for yourself.
Like everybody else said, you know, I know slavery was in this movie, and I don't think Tarantino, I know he wanted to bring attention to that, but I think for him, and knowing Tarantino and the people that watch his films, his whole take was entertainment. And for me, what I took from it, and I went to see with my boy who is black, our take was, you know, pretty much the same. It was entertainment. It was what we got from him as a black superhero. And how many black superheroes can you name or think of? So that's what we got from it. But the added knowledge of, you know, a lot of people didn't know what went on or how hardcore it was back then. And that was, you know, an added benefit for this movie. But, you know, my take was, you know, the whole, you know, at the end, you know, we had a black superhero and you know, he was the last one standing, you know, so.
You know, I think it's amazing that we're talking about a movie. This is a movie.
And does it make us less conscious? Like, going back to the whole thing that Dr. Gibbs was saying, does it make me less conscious because I find some that I was able to laugh at some parts, you know, of the movie? I mean, I don't think slavery is necessarily funny, but I can, you know, separate the two, the entertainment piece from the actual history that happened. And, you know, like, I didn't feel angry like I couldn't work for my supervisor anymore when I, you know, when I left seeing the movie. But I think there's room to be not so heavy. I think sometimes as African Americans, we just like so like caught up in the struggle and what we went through. And yes, we went through a struggle. Yes, we were slaves, but we're not anymore.
Right.
And we have to appreciate this movie for what it was. I mean, Tarantino obviously just set the movie during the time period of slavery. Just like there are movies about Native Americans and cowboy conflicts, revolution, civil rights. This was set in a pre-emancipation time period. That's all.
I'm a hip-hop dude. And one thing that I love about hip-hop is we have grabbed a hold to the microphone And not only did we grab onto the microphone and say what we wanted to say through it, we also control the power of definition of words. We decided, just like James Brown said, I'm bad. I'm bad. He didn't mean it like in a bad way. He meant he didn't mean it in like I'm a bad dude. Meaning that's what we call the power of definition. And that's what hip hop has done. Made bad words into something good. And I think that we have done that because it's kind of like a defense mechanism. We took the sting out of it. So, okay, you wanted to call me that, and you a white dude, but you know what? Now I'm going to call myself that, and be able to rephrase it and redefine it in a way that it doesn't affect me the way it does if you said it to me. I'm going to take the power out of the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't agree with it.
I do.
But
I hear your
this
point,
generation.
but I still think that, again, it enables other folks other than us to use it because you use it.
You know what?
Yeah, that's another argument.
That's a whole nother show right there, and I agree with you on that. But the point is this: when is the last time a white person came up to you and said, "Hey, look here"?
You better go down to South Carolina right now.
No, I'm saying living here in D.C.
Oh, okay, yeah. You better.
When is the last time it's happened?
Right.
When's the last time you've been called the N-word by a white person?
Well, we got our white folks trained up here, so they don't.
Oh, exactly.
They don't do that.
You know what, but they do be in the club. I hear them in the club talking about that. This ain't for no.
Hey, you know what? Funny story. Okay, so funny story. New Year's Eve, we're at the Embassy Suites and we played the Trinidad James record, and then I stopped the record in the middle. Wait a minute, hey, white dude, hey. I'm looking at you, man. I heard, and people just busted out laughing. I was like, I said, you know what? You can go ahead and say it, man. Go ahead and say it during the song.
These all was like boom, boom.
But in the movie theater, though, I mean, let's talk about what we saw. And we got like 2 minutes, so we got to be very quick. What we saw in the movie theater, I saw it with a bunch of black people. I didn't see any white people looking at me trying, can I laugh here or not? I didn't see that at all. But did you feel uncomfortable with the N-word being used in front of all those white folks? Yes or no?
Absolutely not, because again, it was the context of the era, and some white folks actually got up and left our viewing because they were uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What movie theater was you at?
The one right around the corner.
Oh, Silver Spring? What about you, Jose?
Yeah, I went with my boy, and we went at 10:15 showing Friday.
How was the white folks over there? That's all I want to know.
Everybody was. I mean, they really didn't laugh. They kind of didn't want to react to it. I mean, you heard some like giggles and stuff like that, but nobody laughing out loud or anything like that. But most of it, except for me and my boy, like the whole movie theater was white. So.
And they were cool.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing. I mean, they was cool. They was a little, like I said, the one sitting close to me was a little nervous, so they was like pausing, like I said, a certain pause before they laughed. But most of them was cool. They the ones, it's like a big group of them. They just was laughing the whole movie. But I wasn't uncomfortable with like Tony said, it was the period. That's how they use the word. So
You know what we need to do as a field trip is go down to Virginia, like Massanutten or somewhere, and go see how they react. That's what we need to do, because when the context, the mindset. Right, Virginia. We have this stand your ground type of law still existing in Virginia right now to this day. So there are going to be nooks and crannies of America who look at Django as laughable material, Caucasians, mind you, and embrace the N-word because they still do it.
Feel about it. When you was sitting in the movie theater and the N-word was flying, how did you feel? When the black guy was sitting next to you and, things started happening, did you feel funny? I want to get to the crux of that and why you felt that way about these particular scenes that you saw on the screen or what you heard. That's where I want to get. I already know how y'all feel. All right?
Yep.
So moving forward, please get on the show. Email me if you want to be on the next show. TrinityWithEasy@gmail.com. That's our show. We'll catch you next week on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power. See you next time. Peace.